and welcome to Community Advocacy. I am your host, Grisel Marino, and I work for the Office of Community Advocacy, a division under Miami-Dade Board of County Commissioners, overseeing 8 advisory boards and the Miami-Dade's Goodwill Ambassadors Program. Here to talk to us about Miami-Dade County's 311 Contact Center is Training Manager Jorge Gomez. Welcome to Community Advocacy.
Thank you so much for having us, and thank you to La Meca Radio for inviting us and letting us speak a little bit about our passion of love.
Passion of love.
Passion
I like
of love.
that.
Absolutely.
I like that a lot. So I hear that your passion of love is growing.
Yes.
And that for many years we will call 311, but now we could also use Twitter and we can email you, we can bother you many other ways.
Absolutely. It's never a bother, but you can definitely get a hold of us in many different ways. When we first opened, we were simply just a call center, a phone number, and people would call us. But since then, we've really expanded our reach to the community in hopes of engaging with them a little bit more. So we're now available to them through social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, those platforms. And you can also reach out to us by email. If you can think about it, you can get a hold of us.
And there's also the offices, right, where you could go in person?
Absolutely. We do have 3 offices located throughout Miami-Dade County, hopefully to make it convenient for all the viewers and the residents of Miami-Dade. We have one in the North Dade Justice Center on the north side of Miami-Dade County. That's located on 155th Street and Biscayne Boulevard. We also have one not too far from where we're at right now, at the Permitting Center for Miami-Dade County, which is located at 11805 Southwest 26th Street. And then we have another office in the South Dade Justice Center, close to Southland Mall for those people that are familiar with that area. And that address is 10710 Southwest 211th Street.
Okay, perfect. So this one over here close to FIU, the one in the north and the one in the south.
We definitely reach all over the place.
And those offices, are they just open Monday through Friday, or are they also open on Saturdays?
The offices themselves are open Monday through Fridays from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Okay.
We do close for 1 hour between noon and 1 for lunch. But other than that, between 9 and 4, you can come visit us and talk to us about any questions you might have with county services, file any complaints, maybe your neighbor's not taking care of their property, those kind of fun things, or even purchase a couple of direct services that we offer there.
And 311, that one you can call in anytime, 24
Pretty
hours?
much, close, but not yet. We are open 6 days a week.
Okay.
You can call us Monday through Fridays from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Saturdays, you can call from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then we are closed on Sundays and on county holidays.
Okay, but I think the 7 to 7 is pretty
It's
good.
I think it
because
gives
you
a
could
good
call
range.
before work or after work,
Correct.
depending on your
Right.
hours.
And that's always been a challenge, right, with individuals or with residents trying to do business with the county. It's, the county's open at the same time that you're at work, so when can you accomplish a lot of things?
And that one
So-
doesn't close for lunch.
And this one does not close for lunch. Obviously, our agents do go to lunch, but we have
Right.
rotating shifts, so we make sure that the lines are covered at all times.
Okay, that's perfect. And what exactly is 311? Because before, a long time ago, it used to be Metro, and with Maria de la Milera, I
Yes,
remember.
Yes, it used to, oh man, wow, you're taking me back. I think it was called the Answer Center, is what it used to be
Yeah.
called. But it is kind of an amped up version of that. The 311 concept started really taking shape a good maybe 15, 20 years ago throughout the United States. And the concept of it was to provide a single 3-digit number where people can call to get local government information. What we found was it was very easy for people to get overwhelmed trying to figure out which department to call to resolve a certain type of problem. The county's big, it offers a lot of services, but for the average citizen, it can be very overwhelming. So we figured, why not offer this phone number? You can call 311, just like you call 911 or 411. For local government services. So you didn't have to know which department to speak to. We would do the work for you.
And in our office that we have so many advisory boards, I assume that you also have the information if someone like for domestic violence, calls in and they need a referral, or if they Commission for Women, they have a women's issue and they need to know like where to go for direction and things like that.
Right. We're very fortunate at 311 that we have strong partnerships with the different departments in the county. So if people call us and they explain to us, listen, I'm going through ABC situation, or this is what I'm encountering, we do have a robust knowledge base. It's over 3,000 scripts, topics that our agents can go into and research to guide the customer to where it is that they need to go. So for example, the Office of Community Advocacy, the Goodwill Program, if they want to know when the advisory boards are going to meet, all these things we have available at the fingertips of our agents that we can then share with our customers.
Right, and then that we have specific ethnic groups like,
Correct.
And upcoming, we're going to have a new board that will be giving you all the information with the LGBTQ.
Exactly.
That's
and
coming
that's
to
the
our
great
office.
thing, right? And nobody has to, call 15 different places and hope you're getting the right person. You can call us, and at the end of the day, if we don't have that information readily available, we will gladly do the research and get that information for you.
Yeah, it's a great task that you have as a trainer of the employees and the team of 311, because there's so many diverse questions.
Yes.
What type of questions do they mostly ask?
I think the easier question is, what don't they ask us, huh? We get a variety of questions. I mean, we've had people call us to ask, how do you bury somebody at sea? It's
Wow.
insane, the things that you
And
get
how do you do that?
sometimes.
Because I have no idea.
I'd have to read our script and get back to you. But the fact was that, we do get kind of calls like that where we have to do the homework, and sometimes we don't know the answer, so we have to do the legwork. But mainly, the variety of questions that we get do have to do with what the county offers. Our call types that we receive are seasonal. It really depends on what period of the year you're in. For example, right now we're in the middle of tax season, so the majority of the calls that we are receiving have to do with individuals asking questions about how can they pay their taxes, setting up a payment plan, things of that nature. When are my taxes going to be considered delinquent? What happens if I don't pay it on time? Those kind of
Exceptions,
things.
the
And
March.
the homestead exemptions.
Right.
There are people that maybe purchased a home last year that had no idea that the county offers a homestead exemptions, which is basically a reduction
Right.
in the value of what's taxed on your property. So our agents are equipped to be able to share that information, educate our customers, and then provide them basic information, on how to qualify, give them the forms, and just kind of guide them in the right path.
When you say give them the forms, can the forms be emailed us, not necessarily mailed, where it will take a few days?
Absolutely, yeah. You can, if you prefer the traditional, what we call snail mail, which is put it in the post office and it goes, we can do that for you. But for individuals that are a little bit more comfortable using technology, our agents are more than happy and able to send those to you electronically as well.
And what are the most common calls that you receive?
I would say right now, obviously tax, because we're in that season. I would say consistently, we do get a lot of calls for the solid waste department. These are individuals that maybe their trash wasn't serviced that day, or
Okay.
their recycling was missed. Maybe their garbage cart or their recycling cart is damaged and they need a new one, or they need it repaired. We do get quite a bit of calls also for the animal services department. Individuals interested in the spay and neuter programs, how to get their dogs operated so they can't have babies, right? They want to report stray dogs. It really just does run the
Also,
gamut.
the stroller
The
parking.
baby stroller parking permit.
What are the
how to buy a
guidelines
dog
for that?
tag. To be able to
Because
qualify.
I know, like for the wheelchair, you have to get a doctor's approval,
Right.
prescription, and there's a whole process that is not done through your office.
Right.
But how about for the strollers?
It's a little bit less complicated than getting a disabled parking permit, but there are some requirements. Basically, the parent or the legal guardian has to come make the purchase. What they need to bring with them is either the birth certificate. For some people that where the baby is just newborn, maybe they haven't received it, they can bring the hospital release documents. So there are some documents that you can bring. It just basically has to have the baby's name, their date of birth, and then the name of the parents or the legal guardian that's going to be making the purchase. They bring with them a photo ID to show that they're the individual that's listed on the document, and the payment, which is $35.
Is it 35 per year?
It's 35 years flat rate, and it's good for a period of up to 3 years, or when the child turns 36, which is 3 years old, and then after
Okay.
that it expires. So
I
even
see.
if you have a child that is a year and a half old, you still have a window of a year and a half that you can come and take advantage of it. And a lot of people don't know that this program even exists, but it's very common in Miami-Dade. It's usually located, their parking space right next to a handicap spot, and you'll see it. It's a green sign with a baby stroller on it. And as long as you have the child, the stroller with you, and the permit, you're able to park in that spot, and it just gives you a little bit more of easier access.
And for the $35 fee, you get two, one for the mom and one for the dad?
You get one, but you can purchase two.
Okay,
So it'll be 35 for each.
35 each.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Right, it's not a bad deal, right?
Yeah, that's excellent. No, my sons are 23 and 25, but they didn't
Well,
have that back then.
Although I'm sure you think of them as still being little babies, right?
I
Like my mom does to me.
I do.
Yeah.
They never grow up in my
Never.
mind.
That's what my mom tells me, the same thing.
So for those people that feel more comfortable calling a regular number instead of 311,
Right.
or they may be out of town, but they still want information on perhaps garbage for a neighbor to help them out because they're not
Correct.
going to make it on time. Is there like a number that they can call?
Yes, actually, we do have a regular 10-digit number that anybody can call, whether they're in the county or outside of the state. That number is 305-468-5900.
And for the people that live in municipalities, can they get information from their municipalities through 311?
They can. There is one municipality that we work with closely, and that is the city of Miami. So for certain things, you can actually call us if you live within the city of Miami, and we'll be able to generate a request or a service request on your behalf. For the other municipalities in Miami-Dade, Miami Lakes, Hialeah, Pinecrest, Aventura, while we don't open the service requests on their behalf, we are able to provide contact information to the customer. So if you're not really sure, especially with municipalities, because sometimes county services overlaps with municipal services, and sometimes people don't know who provides what, you can give us a call and we can definitely put you in the right hands.
If someone doesn't speak English, and do you have agents that speak Spanish and Creole?
Yes, we're very fortunate that we have agents on staff that can provide service in the three most common languages in our community, which is obviously English, Spanish, and Creole.
Can
And
they
if
tweet and
they
send
can tweet
emails?
us in whatever language you want.
Okay.
You know, the good thing with the county, or the fortunate thing with the county, is we have many employees that come from all walks of life. So even if, let's say, we get a tweet that comes in and maybe it's in a language that nobody in the call center or in the contact center can speaks, then we can always reach out and find someone that can. You know, we'll find a way to communicate with the public.
And on your website, you have a lot of information.
Yes.
Does that, how do we get there?
I'll tell you, you know, we work in the communications department, which is pretty much responsible for the county's website. So if you want to get a hold of us, just go to www.miamidade.gov and you'll find all the information right at your fingertips. When you're on the homepage, you will also see a link that says request for service. If you click on that, it'll direct you directly to the 311 contact
And I
center
understand that the web page itself, you can translate it into whatever
Correct.
language.
Yes, it does have the ability to be translated. I believe it's in the upper right-hand corner, if I'm not mistaken. You can select the language, and then the web page will be converted into the language of your preference.
How does 311 work with the Office of Emergency Management during hurricanes?
We're very fortunate that we have a strong relationship with the Office of Emergency Management. It's one of those departments that are critical to Miami-Dade, but I think most people don't want to hear about them because that means usually something is not going well, right? There's a hurricane coming. So during hurricane season for us, which is pretty much 6 months out of the year, we keep an open dialogue with them. If there's a storm that is threatening Miami-Dade County, for example, we know that it's going to make landfall one way or the other, and we're going to feel the effects. They provide information to us and promote our numbers, so then residents of Miami-Dade, or even people from outside the state that may have relatives here in the county, can call us and get information about what the county is doing in preparation for the storm. They call us during the storm to let us know of damage that happened in the community. And then, of course, we find that we are a critical role after the storm as well, when typically that's when we see the damage, the downed trees, power outages, flooding perhaps, those kinds of things. Individuals can call us and report that to us, and then we relay that information to the Office of Emergency Management. In addition, we know that FEMA sometimes comes in and they set up satellite offices to provide services to the community. Individuals can call us as well, and we can let them know where these sites are, what kind of services are being offered, so then that way people don't have to spend a lot of time driving around for something that they may not be able to receive.
I know that the Office of Emergency Management has a program where they help the elderly and those that have special needs
Yes.
with, like they transfer them to hospitals if they need to be in a hospital before the hurricane or to specialized
Right.
shelter. How do you work with them in that capacity?
We actually work with them closely in that. It's called the EEAP, the Emergency Evacuation Assistance Program. It is really eligible, it's open to residents of Miami-Dade that may require, like you said, assistance in evacuation. There are individuals that are electric dependent, dependent on oxygen, need to be housed in a hospital, for example, because they need medical care. So through the Office of Emergency Management, they keep this database where people register, and then when there is an evacuation, for example, and they identify these individuals need to leave where they're at, the Office of Emergency Management will contact them and let them know, listen, you've been identified as needing to evacuate. If you're interested, call us back and let us know so we can make adjustments, accommodations for you. What happens is when they call back, they're speaking to a 311 agent.
I see.
That agent will then get the person's information, explain to them what's going on, and then notify the Office of Emergency Management, letting them know that yes, they're interested in being evacuated, or they found other means of evacuation and they won't need the services.
Yes, we have in our office the Elder Affairs Advisory Board, and one of our tasks is to let them know that they need to register
Right.
in advance.
Yes, that is one of the things that we encounter quite a bit. We experienced that, I want to say it was Irma, right? That was the last storm that we had. People tend to wait sometimes until the last minute, and then they call, they're very concerned, they're worried, and they want to get into this program. The Office of Emergency Management and 311 does everything we can to get everybody the assistance that they need. Of course, it's always better to do things in advance and get registered into the program ahead of time, because those are the individuals that the departments make accommodations for first. Late registrants, which is what they call, they'll try to help them, they do everything we can, but there are no guarantees. So we always encourage people, if you're listening out there, register ahead of time, and that way you make sure that we can take care of you.
Once again, will you go through the main services or the services
Sure.
that you think that our audience need to know that by calling 311 they can get the information?
Certainly. Pretty much any question that you have, if you have any questions about local government services, again.
Commission meetings.
Commission meetings, where's the closest park to you? Some people may want to go swimming, and not all county parks have a swimming pool. So if you want to know which park has a swimming pool, you can call us and we'll be more than happy to find that for you. If you want to report maybe your neighbors not being so neighborly, for example, and they're not maintaining their property the way that they should, and you just want to let us know and maybe have an inspector go by and take a look, because there are life safety issues, right? Quality of life concerns.
Can you do that anonymously?
You can do just about anything anonymously with you. One thing that we do like to warn our customers is that if you call the 311 contact center, all our phone calls are recorded. So we are subject to public records requests. That's a state law, not our choice. But again, we are government, so we do have to be open and transparent with our residents. So everything is recorded, so it's not all necessarily anonymous. What we do try to communicate with our customers is if you want to stay anonymous, the best way to do that is either to go to one of our service centers. You can walk in person, provide the information to the agent that's sitting there, and they'll be more than happy to take that information and put it into the system. You can also email us, and you can reach us 24/7 when you email us. It'll come straight to our inbox, and there's no really identifying information to link you other than your email address. So unless you're putting your actual name in the email, nobody will be able to tell. So we do have alternatives for people who prefer to remain anonymous.
Okay, that's great to know.
Yes.
And looking forward to 2020, what can we expect from 311?
Hopefully many, many good things, and I know that there will be great things because we have great staff over there. I see us moving forward, really increasing our footprint in the social media, the digital world. Really expanding our presence in Twitter, on Facebook, for example. Our 311 app, it's called 311 Direct. You could find that in your app store, whether it's an Android or an iPhone. We've started to offer service requests that you can just simply report to us by going into the app. We're looking at really expanding what it is that you can report to us to really just make it more convenient for our people, our residents, and then really leaving having to call us for the more complicated things.
Do you see more engagement now through Facebook and Twitter, people asking questions and wanting to know information or maybe reporting complaints?
Absolutely. I mean, last year we did, hold on, I gotta brought some numbers. We did about 65,000 requests that came in last year through social media. This is your Twitter, your Facebook,
That's a
and
lot.
stuff like that. And it's a lot. I mean, we answer about 1.3 million calls a year, so in comparison, it's not up there with the phone calls yet, but it is definitely, I think, a medium that is starting to pick up. What we've noticed is that we've got our traditional customers, like myself. I'm on the older side, so I prefer traditional engagement. I like to speak with somebody on the phone. I like to hear a voice. There's that human contact. But then you've got these other generations that are younger, they're more tech savvy. They prefer the millennials, the famous millennials, right? That they just like to report something real quick, off it goes, and it's handled. So I think as the younger generations become more involved and engaged with government, we're going to see that continue to go up. And we're really excited about what the future holds for us.
Great. Anything else that I haven't asked that you think it's important for our viewers to know?
I don't think so, other than I just want your viewers and your listeners to give us a try. Give us a call, 311 or 305-468-5900. Put our agents to the test, and let us know how we're doing. We love to talk to people. I mean, that's what we do all day is talk to people on the phone. So we look forward to hearing from you guys.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.
And thank you so much for training your team. That's a huge task.
It is, but like I said, it's a passion that we have. We love customer service. We love speaking with our public and our residents. And, we really enjoy what we do.
Thank you.
Thank
you
you
for being here. Well, I hope our audience enjoyed today's Community Advocacy Show. As always, you can contact us at www.miamidade.gov/advocacy, as well as via our social media platforms, Advocacy MDC, or you may call us at 305-375-5730. I am your host, Grisel Marino. Remember to tune in on Thursdays at 9 a.m. Thank you.